Some backyards are just outdoor space. Others become the one place in the house where the day finally slows down, where the light softens, the air smells like rain on stone, and nobody's in a hurry to go back inside. These are the second kind. Today, we're walking through 28 tropical backyard ideas that prove luxury doesn't have to shout. It can be quiet, it can be barefoot. It can be the sound of water you can't quite see. Let's start where every great tropical yard starts, with water. A vanishing edge pool set flush against a wall of palms doesn't just cool a backyard down, it erases the line between built space and jungle. The water seems to spill straight into the greenery, and that illusion is the entire point. Nothing announces itself. Everything just flows. What happens when a pool stops trying to sparkle and starts trying to disappear? A dark bottom reflecting pool answers that question. Instead of turquoise and glare, the water reads as still. Black glass, doubling the palms and sky above it, and turning the whole yard into something closer to a painting than a pool. Where a rectangular concrete pool once sat stiff and formal, a natural stone lagoon-style pool now curves around boulders and root systems like it grew there. Irregular edges, submerged ledges for lounging, stone that's been left rough instead of polished. The effect is a swimming hole, not a suburban amenity. A sunken lounge pit built right at the water's edge lowers the seating below grade, so guests sit almost level with the pool surface. It's an easy trick with an outsized payoff. Suddenly, the water feels close enough to touch even when nobody's swimming. 8 feet of narrow, shallow rill water can do more for an entry sequence than any front door ever could. Cut into stone and run alongside the main path into the house, it turns an ordinary walk from the driveway into something quieter and more ceremonial. A koi pond, tucked beneath a low wooden footbridge, rewards anyone who slows down enough to look over the rail. It's a detail built for the second glance, not the first. Proof that not every feature needs to be visible from the kitchen window to earn its place. Morning light hits a small waterfall built into a stone retaining wall first, and that's exactly the point. The sound carries through the whole yard before the sun does, so the space feels alive before anyone's even stepped outside. Now that the water's set the tone, the plants take over as the real architecture of the yard. A single giant traveler's palm planted dead center in an open lawn works less like landscaping and more like a sculpture. Its fan-shaped leaves cast moving shadows all day long, and one well-placed specimen often does more visual work than a dozen smaller plants scattered around the edges. A layered tropical canopy, banana leaves low, tree ferns mid-height, tall cow palms overhead, builds depth the way a good painting does, with foreground, middle ground, and background all doing separate jobs. Walk through it, and the yard feels twice as large as its actual footprint. Farmhouse charm has its mason jars. Tropical luxury has its living walls. Vertical panels of tree fern and maidenhair fern mounted against a bare exterior wall, turning a blank surface into the most textured thing in the yard without taking up a single inch of ground space. A row of kiao palms, planted slightly offset rather than in a perfectly straight line, throws moving, dappled shadows across a patio all afternoon. That imperfection in the spacing is deliberate. A rigid route reads as landscaping. An offset, one reads as nature that was gently encouraged. Heliconia and ginger Flowers in deep reds and oranges do something most tropical planting skips entirely. They give the eye a place to land. Against a backdrop of endless green, one bed of saturated color reads as intentional rather than accidental. An 11-foot timber pergola left bare for its first year, then slowly consumed by a climbing vine, ages into the yard instead of just sitting on top of it. Give it time, and the structure all but vanishes under its own greenery. A narrow bamboo gate, standing alone with no fence attached to it, signals something a solid wall never could. That what's beyond it is a separate room, an outdoor space with its own rules, even though anyone could technically walk around it. With the greenery established, the built structures need to hold their own without fighting it. An open-sided bale, roofed in dried alang-alang thatch and left without walls on any side, borrows its whole vocabulary from Balinese architecture. No air conditioning, no glass, just shade, airflow, and a floor a few steps above the garden. A cantilevered wood deck, engineered to hang out over a slope or a pond with no visible support underneath, gives the impression that the whole platform is floating just above the canopy line. It's a structural flex disguised as a quiet design choice. A thatched roof cabana with a single wide daybed inside solves the oldest tropical design problem there is: shade without walls. Screen it with a sheer curtain, and it becomes a private nap spot in the middle of an otherwise open yard. A timber pergola built with slats, spaced slightly apart, rather than a solid roof, doesn't block the sun so much as edit it, letting bars of light and shadow shift slowly across the patio floor as the afternoon moves along. An outdoor shower framed by a rough stone wall, open to the sky but hidden from every sightline, turns a purely functional fixture into one of the yard's most memorable corners. It's a detail almost nobody plans for until they've stood in one. Coral stone flooring, porous and pale, stays noticeably cooler underfoot than concrete or tile ever will in direct tropical sun, which matters more than color or pattern when the whole point of the yard is walking through it barefoot. Teak decking left unsealed and allowed to weather into a soft, silvery gray reads as more expensive than teak that's been oiled to stay honey brown. The weathering isn't neglect. It's the material doing exactly what it was chosen to do. A dry-stacked stone wall, built without mortar and left slightly uneven on top, marks a property line or garden edge without ever feeling like a fence. It reads as something the land produced rather than something a contractor installed. Once the structure and stone are settled, the last layer is the one people actually live in. The furniture, the light, the small sounds that make a yard feel finished. A woven, rattan daybed, set beneath a single wide canopied tree instead of under any man-made roof, borrows its shade from the plant itself. There's a particular kind of luxury in a seat that has nothing built above it at all. A hammock strung between two mature sei palms costs close to nothing and reads as more relaxed than any outdoor furniture set could. It's proof that not every backyard upgrade needs a budget line. Sometimes it just needs two trees the right distance apart. An outdoor dining table set directly beneath a canopy of leaves, rather than under a fixed pergola, changes its mood with the seasons. Dappled in summer, more open once the canopy thins, never quite the same meal twice. String lights woven directly into the foliage, rather than strung overhead on visible wires, make the light look like it's coming from the leaves themselves. After dark, that single choice does more to shape the mood of a yard than any lamp on a table ever could. Low-hanging rattan lanterns, placed along a path at knee height instead of overhead, throw pools of warm light across the ground without ever glaring into anyone's eyes. It's a quieter kind of lighting, built for walking through rather than looking up at. A bamboo wind chime hung somewhere just out of the direct line of sight adds the one sense most backyard design forgets entirely: sound. Paired with distance from the main house, it turns the yard into a space that feels genuinely separate, not just an extension of the living room with grass under it. 28 ideas, one thread running through all of them. The tropical backyards that feel the most luxurious are rarely the loudest ones. They're the ones built around stillness, texture, and a little bit of patience, where the design gets out of nature's way instead of competing with it. If any of these sparked something for your own space, stick around. There are plenty more backyards worth walking through.